Hey everyone, what's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, it's Friday. Is it Friday? Yes, it's Friday. So super excited that you are here with me live. And we are on day five. We're on day five. And I was just like, oh my goodness, this is going to be a topic that I think is really, really going to help you out along your self-love journey. We are doing the 14-day of self love, 14 days of self love, and we're at day number five. So we're not all the way there yet, but we're getting close. And I hope that you've been enjoying each one of the series that we've been talking about thus far. And I hope that you enjoy it. Stay tuned to the very end of this video because there's going to be a wonderful, wonderful gift that I want to give to you. And I know that you're going to want to take advantage of this offer, okay? So, and it's completely free and let's get a hold of this. Let's get this party started. If you don't know me, my name is Tanisha Portier. I am the author of the book, I'm Living Truth. It's possible. Recommit to you. And today, what we're going to be doing is I want to encourage you to dive in deep and look at the power of self love. Remember, a lot of times we think self love is so underrated, but if you are here in the chat today, if you are catching the replay, you know that it's important, right? You know that this topic can no longer just be on the sidelines of help for a special day in February or a Mother's Day or a birthday or anything like that. We've got to talk about self love, and it has to be something that we indulge in, something that we hold very near and dear to our hearts and take advantage of it. And so, if we've got to start off small, little by little, we're going to do it, but we're going to do it together. So, I am here to encourage you to love yourself more because you are the most important person in this world. All right. So, let's get this party started. Self love. Listen, so the power of letting go of what no longer serves you in self love, letting go of what no longer serves you. Can you think of anything that is just not working out for you anymore? Can you think of anything that you've been holding on to just because that you feel like it's the best thing to do? You've had it for years, or you've known this person for years, that you've been with this company, this organization, this group, this community, this neighborhood. You've had this car, you've had these clothes, you've had these things, but you know that it is not serving you and is actually holding you back from where the Most High wants to catapult you, is if I'm saying the right word, catapult you to the next level where God wants to be able to bring you to a higher level, but we're still holding on to a lot of things that is really becoming baggage. Well, self love is going to begin to help us to dive in deep, to let go, get rid of, dissolve, or give away to someone that we know can benefit from this. And it can be anything that we know that we've been holding on to. So listen, here's something that I want to encourage you to think about. Listen to the things that I've mentioned. There's clothes, if there's cars, if there's people, if there's things, if there's jobs, just things that we've been holding on to. Now, all the things that we've been holding on, what does that do to us? When we hold on to something that we know we need to get rid of, whether it be an old car, or old phone number, or old friend, outdated relationships, and things like that, well, what it does is that it holds on to us and it pulls us down. It keeps us stuck. It keeps us locked down from wanting to move up and higher in potential when we know we can do better, but it feels comfortable. We're in our comfort zone where it's familiar to us. And so when we don't want to let go, when we don't want to release things that no longer serve us, we are only holding ourselves in a bondage that on the other side we will never know unless we take those steps to really release. And when we release and let go, all we have to know and all we have to realize is that we are releasing in love. We release these things in love because we know if it does no longer serve us, it could possibly serve someone else or something else in a better capacity. Because the thing is that If we give, we can receive. But we don't want to give, and I mean take and hold on. Take and hold on. Take and hold on. You don't even have room to receive. We're talking about we want to go up into other levels, but it's saying like if we love ourselves, if we know if we let it go, what is the right thing is going to come back to us. And that is trusting ourselves. That is loving ourselves. That is knowing that it's all going to work out for our greatest and highest good. And all we have to do is release and release in love. So let's say we've been holding on to clothes that we like, like, okay, I'm gonna wear this, I'm gonna wear this swimming suit or this jogging suit or this dress, in another year, this summer, and that dress is not in the closet, that you're not going to wear that dress anymore, maybe because of the size, maybe because of the style, maybe, but you're just holding on because you had it for so long, or you hold on because somebody gave it to you and you feel like it's so special, but somebody else can benefit from that. If you just decide, you know what, I love this so much, but I'm sure if I give it away to this certain person, I know that they can benefit and they will love it just as much. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to release what I have in my closet, and I'm going to bless so and so with love. And you know what? And when you do that, do you know that when that person takes that and they go ahead and utilize that, it blesses them beyond measure, which then return shows you that the love that you gave that in, and the joy and the happiness and the peace returns back to you. So the number one thing that we have to know is that when we give, we not only receive, it doesn't have to be that we get something back just like that. It can be that we can get return a smile, a hug, a warm thank you, a warm appreciation. And so when we let things go, we receive good things. And sometimes the receiving that we get is freedom of less. And if you know anything about letting go, and getting rid of things that no longer serve you and letting things go, once you begin to say, look, I'm going to gather all the things, and all the things in my home, all the things I know, some things that I know that I don't need. I have two, sometimes we have two of everything. Do you know of anyone who has maybe have two blenders, two this, two that, and your homegirl is saying, girl, I gotta go buy me a blender. Girl, I can't wait until I get so and so pair of this or this and that. And you have that at the bottom in your cupboard somewhere, or in your garage, or upstairs in your closet, that you probably haven't even opened. And if you gave this away to a person, because it cannot serve you, you can't work on two things. And then because, I mean, you're sitting here letting things pile up. But if you give it away to somebody, if you give it away to your friend, they will be so grateful and thankful, because now it is serving a better and a higher purpose. It's actually getting usage out of it. And there is a law in the power of use. What you're not using and what you hoard and what you hold on to that no longer serves you, that is not being used, can get taken away. And it's almost like you probably don't want that smoke of the type of way that they can get taken away. Maybe, like, oh man, I never used this, so now it broke. Oh man. Or maybe I never used it, and now I end up having to sell it so I can do, X, Y, and Z things. We want to make sure that we are free from holding on, free from clutter, free from things that block our blessings, that block the things that we really truly need. So if we have an extra pair of this or more of that, let's just release and give in love. I know for a fact, and I'm going to share a short story with you. I, in the process of just learning how to deal with, less. Now, I'm not a minimalist just yet. Probably one of maybe in the near future. But I really like the idea of a minimalist, and that's just not barely having like the bare needs and necessities, but in some areas, not in every single area, right? But it's just having the things that you love, but still loving like the nice things, and nice things and such. And however, but just not hoarding or holding on to too much, just keeping things. Whereas, if this is what you have, let's say, if I have 5 pair of shoes, five outfits. Now, hold on. Women are like, girl, bye. There's no way that I'm going to, do that. I love clothes too much. Well, that's probably to the extreme. And I'm not saying that that's something that I would go to, but I eventually, want to get to an area where if I have some things that I can say, what can I give away? What can I help? What can I serve? Who can benefit from, maybe this or that I have here that I'm holding on to, that I have too many of? And I realize that when I give things away and when I get rid of things, it opens up a space for abundance. It opens up a space for clarity. It opens up a space. It not only opens up a space in your home, in your area, in your job, in your business, in your car, wherever, but it also opens up a space clearly in your mental state where you have let go and you detached from things that are no longer serving you. And we're talking about just material on this level. So like I said, it can be you might be a person that collects cars and loves cars, but you might see someone that has, been wanting to save for a car, and they saved, quite a bit, but they're not just where they need to be to get that new car. And you might just say, hey, you know what? How about I sell you this car, and you can pay me what you have, or I want to bless you and give this away, or something that you have. And it doesn't have to be the just the junk, the leftover things that you have. It can be something of nice value. It can be something that you can say, hey, would you like to I don't know, like, again, I mean, whatever, you fill in the blank. How about that? You fill in the blank of, like, what it is that you want to give away to someone that you feel is kind of like extra special, that you purchased and you said, you know what, this is really nice. However, I'm moving, I'm changing, I'm doing some things, or I just want a little more space. And I want to bless somebody. I want to give this away. I like it a lot, but I think that, it's time for me to declutter, to release, to let go, because I'm kind of getting back to myself, and I have a little bit too much right now, right? And so letting go of things that no longer serve us is a real powerful, powerful, powerful strategy in self-love. When it comes to people, letting go of people. And sometimes, we get to a point in our lives where, the people that we've known all of our life, it could be, friends, it could be family members, it could be coworkers, it could be people that we've known, just growing up back in the day, or people that we just met, or people that we've been acquainted with, that we know that sometimes our purpose has been served in certain relationships. It doesn't mean anything is negative, or anything is bad, or anything is, discombobulated. It only means that, at this time of your life, that you release them and you let them go, because you're growing, or you are now in a different stage in your life, and a different and I always want to speak Spanish, etapa, but you're in a different mode right now. And so it's not that you have anything against. As a matter of fact, you love everyone. You love the people that you've always known. You cherish them, you respect them, you honor them, but you now let them go so that they can go and reach the highest and greatest good. That means if you've been hanging out, you've been like buddy buddy, this and that, but now you're like, okay, that time, that space, that sequence in my life was great, but now I'm venturing and I'm growing, and now I'm getting, I'm acquainted with new friends. I'm getting to know new people, and it just feels absolutely incredible to have, just different experiences. And that doesn't mean that you don't talk to anyone else, or you don't, you no longer associate with anyone that you've known in the past. As a matter of fact, it's just that you're growing and you're getting to know more people. You're growing your circle. You could be smalling, you may be decreasing your circle. And all that means is that you're letting people go, you're releasing them, just so that you can gain new friends. um, so I want to make sure that we don't get confused and saying, "Oh, well, we're not talking to anyone else. We're not letting people, we're not having any communications." It's just sometimes you're getting closer to other people that you're knowing, and maybe some other relationships if you've known in the past. It's just like, man, we just grew apart. Man, we just kind of stopped talking, or man, we just kind of, the relationship faded, or we just kind of decided that, this is, right now, and it's time of our life, that the conversation, the friendship, we're going to halt at this time. And there's nothing wrong when you do it in respect, when you do it in love, when you do it in kindness. And there are some times where you're acquainted with people, or you know and may know for years, or maybe a short period of time, where you know that they're not serving you. You know that they're not in the greatest and highest good for your growth, for your evolution, for your involvement in this world, in your journey. And you love yourself. You're starting to love, to care, to nurture yourself. And you're saying, if I stay connected with this group of people, if I stay connected with this type of environment, if I stay, it's damaging. It's very unbecoming. It's actually pulling my energy down. It's not letting me be my greatest and highest version. It's not. It's actually keeping me at a standstill, because these some of these individuals that I used to hang with still want to be here, and I've evolved. I've grown. I am becoming. I am doing things else, and you see, they don't understand, because they keep telling me that, remember what you did, and that's, remember how you were, remember what, but you don't really know how to do this. And you're like, hold up, like, I think now you are showing me enough evidence, you're showing me enough verbiage, we're having enough conversation for me to know and to decide that this relationship has to be released in love. I let you go, I release you, and I bless you in love. You see, the thing is that we're not here to have to connect and to stay in relationships with everyone for the rest of our lives. It's the thing is that we get this wrong. And let me say it in a way that hopefully this that you may understand. Um, Sometimes we feel like, okay, we've known this person all of our lives, we've done this, it could be a brother, it could be a sister, it could be a family member, that we have that same type of connection that we may have for someone who's new, that completely completes us, and I want to say complete us, that completely like connects with us, and that we have a synergy and a dynamic connection, that things may change, where you may feel like this new connection you've never had before, and you're growing, and it's so wonderful, it's just so beautiful, that you're like, man, I know so and so here, we've been knowing each other for years, but this person is just like, we just click, it's just automatic, it's just something about these people, this group, this connection. And so I know now more of what I want, and I'm releasing more of what I don't want. This was amazing. This was great. We had a great friendship. We had great communication, and it doesn't, and hey, I'll call you, I'll see how you are every now and then, but now I'm evolving, I am transforming, and I can't go where I used to go. I can't hang out where I used to hang out, because I'm growing, and I know that that I'm not better than anyone, because we're all doing the same thing, but I just know that it's time for me to become my absolute and the dynamic best version of myself. And so I know that this relationship, this dynamic took me so far, that I know now that this next step, this next chapter, this next phase in my life, if I let this go, I can get this. Because it's going to be like, what do you want, this or that? Are you going to hold on to this and you're going to let go of this? Are you going to close this door so this door can open? Or do you, in life, you have those choices? Like, you can't just have both. You can't just have, and I had to learn that, because I used to say, I want both. I want to have this and that. Like, can I just like mix them up together? Some things you can have, but some things you cannot have both of. You have to release something, to let something go, so that what you really, really want can come in. If you're satisfied, if you're comfortable, and if you want to stay where you are, and if you feel like, no, there's no changes need to be made, there's no releasement needed, good for you, high five, kudos, like, that's what's up, like, that's cool. However, if you feel like you are going into a deeper self-love awakening, that you're cherishing yourself more, that you've been doing more self-affirmations, that you've been analyzing the friendships, the relationships, the things in your environment, the people around you, the company you keep, the things that you adore, that you hold close to you, if you know that there's a change that is needed, then I invite you to release them in love. I invite you to pack up some things and give it away. I invite you to say, you know what, I am going to stop this for a period of time and see how I feel. I invite you to just say, I am just going to give what I had, you know, in my closet and in my garage and in my attic and in my storage and all these things that I know that I have not touched in 5 years. I'm going to release this in love. I'm going to release this person in love. I'm going to do these things because I know that, that there's no hard feelings, that there's nothing missing, there's nothing broken. I just know that it's time for me to dive more into myself. And sometimes things can be a distraction from that. Sometimes we can hold on to it and they can hold us back from really moving on, because sometimes we want to have things, we want to watch over things. We want to, keep things so close to us that, we don't want anyone, we're not using them, we don't have them, we don't want anyone else to have it. It's like come on, what is it? Like what is it? Like what are we gonna do? Like so, when we start to love ourselves, we start to say, you know what, this can go, and I like this a lot, but this can go. But remember, when we let go, self-love is about releasing and love, because what God loves, a cheerful giver, a cheerful giver. So if we give, and we like, I remember one time I was like, oh, I remember, no, it's a few times I'm telling you a story. Like I remember, I was years ago. It was like years ago. Maybe I was in high school or like something, and I had some TD Jakes CDs. Woman out there, our woman thou art loose. It was like back. That's like when he was first coming out there, right? I mean, maybe not first because he's way older, but so, and I was just like, and I brought these tapes. There was cassette tape. So it was back in the day, right? And I listened to them over and over again. So I like, understood and learned and understood and learned. And then God was just like, give these tapes away to that lady. I was like, what? I go, but you want, you want me to give these away? And I was like, oh. And I ended up giving these tips. And I said, you know what? Here you go. God just told me to give it to you. And I gave it to her. And guess what? I don't know what happened from that. I don't know. But my mindset was, when I was talking to God, I was like, man, but when I did it, I did it as God told me to give you this, and I hope you enjoy it. And I gave it to her. She was like, thank you so much. I don't know what happened. I never seen the lady again. I don't even think I knew the lady like that. And sometimes God just tells me, like, hey, go bless this person, or go do this, or go, and sometimes I just like, sometimes I wonder, but sometimes it's not even for me to know, because I know that somewhere it doesn't have to, like, see, your blessing doesn't have to come from the same person. It can come in a karmic blessing, where the karma is not always a negative thing. So when you release, with the give, the what you give out is what you get back. And when you give in love and when you release in love, the things have to come back when you do it in love. But when you give and like, here, just take it. And when somebody else is coming, you need something, and you know you need it, and somebody like, here, just take it. And then how does that make you feel? So when we love ourselves and we know that it has to come from a place of purity, of really self-love and self-care, and even when we don't want to, but if we can just find a way to find in our heart to say, God, help me to give this in love, help me to give this in peace, help me to give it in a smile, help me to give it in a joyous fashion, so that this person can be blessed and that it will become of good use. And whoever takes this, whoever gets this, let them be able to learn, let them be able to ascend, let them be able to grow and to become the best person that they can be. Or it can be, you can give away a prayer, you can give away a positive thought. You can write a letter, whatever it is. And so just know that when we give and we give in love, it's a beautiful thing, because it comes back in a beautiful way through grace and a divine order. So I just want to encourage you to know that self love is so important. And by doing that, we give away, we release, and we let go. So whether that's people, whether that's things, whether that's places, whatever that is, if we need to release and say, you know what, this it's no longer working. You got to go. Or, you ain't got the what you whatever you got to do, but do it in love. Do it in happiness. Do it in joy. Do it in peace. And sometimes, and hold on. Let me be clear before I end this. You see this smile? I really, really, really love you. However, we have to know that just because a person is nice, just because a person is loving, just doesn't mean that when you give in love and you just that these persons are gonna like let you walk over on them. Okay. Just know that just because you see a person that's kind and that's humble and that's gentle is going to let you say, well, let's take advantage of them. Like, don't get it twisted. Please don't get it twisted. It's very important that you know that they have evolved to a point where they love themselves so much that when they give and when they release is because they're releasing in love because they already know, they already understand how this whole thing works. They understand. And so when you understand that when you do these things and you release in love and when people are being kind to you, just know that returning that kindness is going to be your best bet because you don't want that to happen if somebody else does the same thing to you because it's all goes in a circular motion. We are all connected. This is all relativity. This is all, we are all connected. And so, what we can do is try to do the most good. And so, release, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Release no longer what no longer serves you and love yourself more because you get filled. You get filled from the inside out. You feel better about yourself, and you may be getting financial blessings. You may, from giving things away, you might just get that promotion. You might just get, the person of your dreams. You might just get that new car, that new house. Miracles happen when we release what no longer serves us. Once you close one door and open another, but we can't try to do this. We can't try to like look at it. We can't do that. But what we can do is release, trust, and love ourselves to know that it's all working out. Everything works together for the good for those that are called according to the high purpose. All right, that's my time for this series. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoy this. Like I said, watch until the end of the video. And if you're still here, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, give it a comment, share this message out. I want to offer you my free 14 Days of Self Love guided workbook. This workbook includes loaded information and activities that you can do day by day from the information we have been sharing together on this live and all the comments below, as well as different questions and answers. And there's some bonus things in there. And I know that you are going to want to take advantage of this offer because it's completely free. You have nothing to lose and only love to gain. So I hope that you enjoyed this. My name is Tanisha Portier as well. I am a global innovator for the 21st century. So I know, I feel, I see, say, touch, taste, believe that I'm here to create. I'm here to cultivate my natural gifts and talents by first starting off with myself, healing myself, my family, and in the world. So, wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, noon, or night, I am blowing kisses to the globe. Have a beautiful day and smile. Make sure you smile.